Have you ever wondered, not just with your mind, but with your whole being, what this thing is that you call thinking? Are you the thinker of your thoughts, or is there just thinking happening, and you've called it yours? We carry this assumption so deeply, so automatically, we never even think to question it. There's a me behind my thoughts, a doer behind my actions, a captain at the helm of my life. But what if that very idea is where all the confusion starts? Look right now. There's thinking happening, right? But when you really look, not through the lens of what you've been taught, can you find the thinker? You'll see thoughts come and go. But where's the self you talk about? This me, this I, this identity. Isn't it just a bundle of memories, old stories, bits of knowledge, all held together by thought? No real substance, no weight, like a shadow that seems solid until you try to touch it and realize it's made of nothing. Watch a river flow. Eddies and whirlpools form in the current. A whirlpool looks like it has its own life, its own story, but it's just the river moving in a certain way. When the current shifts, where does the whirlpool go? It was never separate from the water. And you, what you call yourself, is just consciousness, flowing in a pattern, shaping itself into thoughts, memories, feelings. But you've clung to that pattern and said, that's me. That's where the struggle begins. Notice how the mind splits things. Here's me. There's the world. Inside, outside. Me versus everything else. But is that split real, or just a trick of thought? Take a breath. Where does the air end? And you begin? The oxygen in the room, and it's already in your blood, fueling your cells. The carbon dioxide in your veins is already part of the air. A constant exchange, a flow. But the mind keeps drawing lines that aren't really there. You're no more separate from the world than a wave is separate from the ocean. A wave rises, looks distinct for a moment, then dissolves back into the sea. It was never not the water. Why does the mind do this? Why build walls between things? Because conflict is its fuel. It thrives on this versus that, good versus bad, pleasure versus pain, success versus failure. The mind picks sides, clings to one, fights the other. But can't you see? It's a game with no end. You can't have light without shadow, joy without sorrow, love without its opposite. They're two sides of the same coin. Chase only pleasure, and pain will follow. Craving success, you'll fear failure. This tug of war is where suffering lives. What happens when you stop choosing sides? When you see the watcher and watched are the same movement, not two. And time, this river, the mind swims in, always rushing from past to future, never resting in now. Where is the past but memory? Where is the future but a story? Both exist only in thought, and thought is always here. Time is the mind's story, spinning the illusion of becoming. I was this, I am this, I'll be that. But what's here is only this moment, this breath, this feeling, this direct experience. No narrator, no plot. See what's happened? The self you thought was so real is just a shadow play of thought. The walls between inner and outer, gone in the light of looking. Opposites, two faces of one coin. Time, a story the mind tells itself. The whole idea of a separate me just falls apart. What's left when the illusion of separation fades? What's here? You can't answer with thought. Thought built the prison. The answer isn't in concepts, beliefs, or ideas. It's found only here, in this moment of quiet attention, when the mind is still. In that stillness, no thinker, no thought, no watcher, no watched. Just this unbroken flow of life, this quiet intelligence without a center. And in that seeing, you realize you are not separate from what is. You are the consciousness in which all things appear and fade. You are not someone with awareness. You are awareness itself, pretending to be someone. But who sees this? Who recognizes the game? The mind can't answer. It's part of the game only by being what you are, by ending the search for what's never been lost. Do you know? In this moment of not knowing, in this quiet, I don't get it, you are what you've been looking for. Not as something to grab, but as the one who's here, now, listening. No path, no method, no practice, only the end of the dream that you're anything but pure consciousness, pure awareness, pure being. This isn't a philosophy, not a belief, not a teaching. It's the simplest, most obvious fact. You are the space where all stories unfold, the quiet awareness that makes everything possible. And that awareness is listening to these words right now.